So Nick, I think it's really great you join us again for another interview, and the thing I want to ask you is you have so many upcoming projects. What can you tell us about them?
I don't know, just as fortunate as humanly possible to stay busy. You know, actors and stuntmen work is very competitive. It's hard to get. And the fact that, you know, I can stay busy and be able to feed myself and get my cigarettes and weed and video games, I'm a very, very lucky man. Lucky indeed.
You did a movie with Eric Rollers, I heard.
Yeah, this movie called Self-Storage. It's got Michael Berryman, Jonathan Silverman, first-time writer-director Tom DiNucci. Yeah, I said your name. I'm plugging your shit for you, buddy. You can thank me later. This guy, Chad Birdie. They're actually all from my hometown, so that really meant a lot to me to actually shoot something where I grew up, because I grew up in the smallest state in America called Rhode Island. It's not a road, it's not an island, I don't know why it's called that, but to go back there and do what I do in Hollywood, in just a few towns over from where I grew up, was just such a blessing. And definitely want to thank Tom and Chad for hiring me for that. And we have another project. I don't think it's on IMDb at all, because I think it's still doing some rewrites. But it's a supernatural horror film. There's some names attached, but it's not definite, so I don't want to say it. But I mean, I'll definitely be in it, and Tom will be directing it too. It's called Cellar Door. It's going to be a really cool supernatural flick, so I'm definitely looking forward to doing that one.
And there's another movie called Mondo Holocausto.
Mondo Holocausto is a very fine gentleman named Anthony Santanselmo, who actually works on South Park, doing things for them. And he's been doing this movie like over a period of time, absolute labor of love, total throwback to Italian cannibal cinema of the 80s, where he's actually shooting the actors without sound and then having different actors come in and do all the voices. So it's like, you know, very intentionally cheesy and things like that, like really shooting for that old Italian style. So I'm really pumped to be a part of that, and that one can't come soon enough, because I mean, that's totally my genre. So
is it going to be a mixture between horror and comedy, or just a straight horror film, just done like this?
Well, I think it's just going to be a really gory comedy, ultimately.
Okay.
Like, I think the violence is going to be real, but for the most part, it's very tongue-in-cheek. Like, you know, not to be taken too serious, but, you know, I don't know. Just like those Italian films, or at least they weren't trying to sound like that, but that's what their product ended up becoming. At least this is aware of what it is, and it's shooting for that corniness and that cheesiness. So, I don't know. Again, just super happy to be working in the genre that I love, you know.
About the genre, do you know the old Mondo films?
As far as
like Mondo Kane or something.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know you guys have like different titles for certain things, you know, like I don't know, Cannibal Ferox, and the other one with John Saxon, where it's like the Vietnam veterans with PTS disorder who start eating people from malaria or something like that.
Yeah.
But I grew up on that stuff. I mean, it was my goal as a kid at the local video store, which my mom used to call the babysitter, because she would just rent 3 movies and just stick me in front of the TV and then go do whatever. But it was my goal at like age 13 to just start at A of the horror section and just work my way across until I just saw everything that was possibly there, good or bad, whatever. I think for like a lot of horror fans, especially when you really get your teeth into the genre and you realize how much you love it, you need to see everything. You know, it's just an insatiable urge to see everything you humanly can. And I don't know, I'd like to think there's still a big part of me that's like that,
So when you were in Vienna, we talked about Laterist 2 and 3, and the uncut release for Laterist 2 is finally here, and we have been waiting for it. I'm sure you were too, because I heard you dislike cut versions of movies.
I don't think anyone else has the right to censor someone else's vision. It's hard enough as it is to get a film made. Just to start from scratch, to write, to get financing, to cast it, and all these labors of love that you do, and you finally get a finished product that you want the world to see, and then absolute utter strangers walk in, and I call them, the Puritan committee, and they just decide what you can see and can't see, and that's fascism. It's fascism, plain and simple, and I hate it. I can't stand it, and I'm so glad an uncut version came out. I remember saying wait for the Austrian version, or order the American copy or something like that. But I mean, for as long as people put up with it, they're gonna keep doing it. So someday, revolt.
Let's hope for this. And about Later 3, when you were in Vienna, there wasn't much to say. Is there something new, some new developments?
Well, I mean, in all honesty, in my recent travels back to Los Angeles, I worked, maybe you might see it on the internet or something. I did a game show for Machina Entertainment called Player versus Pain. Okay. Where basically kids play teenagers, they had to be 18. They play video games, say like Halo or Modern Call of Duty or something like that. And anytime they would get shot in the game, I would shoot them with paintballs. Or if they were playing Tetris and they screwed up, I had a shock, like an electric zapper, and it was attached to a stool. So every time they'd screw up, I'd press a button and it'd zap them. But anyway, so when I was in Los Angeles, I hung out with Rob. We got dinner and hung out. And I was like, so when we do an LTR 3, what's going on? Let's do this, And he, right now, he's focusing on moving his effects shop to a much bigger place in Glendale, California. He's working on the TV show Teen Wolf, which I guess you guys don't have over here yet, but that's on MTV. He's doing all the effects on that, and he's actually directing a couple episodes. And he's trying to get, I don't think he'd want me to talk about it. It's called Effects Masters, and it has some of the absolute legends of special effects working on this TV show in front of the camera. So he's got those projects to focus on. So I would say when all that calms down, we would definitely be starting on Later 3. So I would put 2 years. I'd say about 2 years we'll shoot it, and then by the end of that year, it should come out. So I would say 3 years total. Which I know sounds like a lot of time, but next thing you know, it's over. I would say in about 3 years, Later 3.
Great. So I say good luck with this. Good luck with everything. It's so great. You came out to the second weekend of horrors for you and to do another interview with us. And I say thanks for coming und danke fürs Zuschauen.